More lift. And we're taking a look at cooler temperatures for today, but I'll show you when our warm-up comes right back.
Nationwide protests, people in our area and across the country responding after a woman was shot and killed by ICE agents in Minneapolis. What led up to that shooting and the message for ICE from the mayor.
Cary leaders are meeting today for the first time since the town manager's resignation. The new questions surrounding business dealings of the mayor. WRAL News at 8 starts in less than 60 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
New this morning, one of the 2 men involved in a chase in Raleigh this week where a gun went off has been arrested.
We're going to get to all that story and more coming up. I'm Ken Smith along with Kelsey Coffey. Let's go ahead and start with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking our forecast.
Beautiful sunshine behind you two, and we're seeing that really all across the viewing area. We're nice and bright in the gardens right now. 39 degrees is our temperature. We've been running about 10 to, and in some places 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. So you might need to add that extra layer as you're heading out the door. It's 44 in Fayetteville, 40 in Southern Pines, 32 though in Roxborough, where you could have some frost on your windshield this morning. Anywhere from, like I said, around 10 to around 15 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. And we'll see the same thing during the afternoon. We hit low 70s yesterday, looking at low 60s for highs this afternoon. Now we're bright right now, but we'll see increasing clouds later today. And then it's likely to stay cloudy for us on Friday and Saturday, but temperatures will bump back up. We still have rain in the forecast for late Saturday. We'll go over that coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're going to start in this situation on I-40. Those westbound lanes coming in from Garner, Johnston County right now. Couple of lanes blocked as a result of first responders working this crash. You can see the ambulances there. So if you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County this morning, you might want to use Highway 70 as an alternate route, or get off on Jones Sausage Road and take another local route, Garner Road, if you will. Because right now you're looking at a 12-minute delay coming in from between Highway 36 and the Beltline this morning. The other trouble spot, really and truly, Wake Forest. You're just looking at an 8-minute delay. So the other situation I want to bring to your attention is on I-87 coming in out of Wendell, the Zebulon area. Right now you're seeing these southbound lanes of I-87 because there's a crash near the Wendell Falls Parkway causing quite a bit of congestion in that particular area. So if you're not stuck in this traffic right now, you might want to just take Business 64, Nadia Boulevard as an alternate route. Over in Durham, things are getting really cranked up. If you're coming in from Wake Forest and you're using Highway 98 to get to Durham, you're looking at a 13-minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
New this morning, one of the 2 men involved in a chase in Raleigh this week where a gun went off has been arrested. New court documents show Norvell Young is facing a charge of felony flee to elude arrest. He's expected to be in court today. Police have still not arrested Jose Collado. He is wanted on weapon charges and resisting an officer. The chase started Tuesday afternoon on New Bern Avenue. Officers were attempting to pull over a car when they say Collado got out with a gun and ran away. They say Collado dropped the gun and it went off. Police say Young drove off in the car. No one was hurt. Today, a town police chief in Sampson County will be in court on charges including indecent liberties with a minor. The charges against Newton Grove Police Chief Greg Warren also include secret peeping. Court documents show that incident happened back in 2023. Warren was sworn in as the Newton Grove Police Chief in 2019.
Happening today, the town of Cary meeting for the first time since its town manager resigned over spending concerns. Let's get right to Heidi Kirk live in Cary this morning. And Heidi, the council will be hearing from the interim town manager tonight.
Ken, that's absolutely right. And this is a story I'll mention that we've been covering for more than a month now. I went ahead and printed out the agenda here. You'll notice on there that manager's update. That will be interim town manager Russ Overton. That's all going to play out here tonight, right inside of Cary Town Hall. But let me get to some of the details of what we've been covering. So if you'll remember, Overton took over for former town manager Sean Stiegel on December 15th. Now, that came after he was placed on paid administrative leave by the council as a result of what they call over-the-top spending, inadequate financial reporting, and a lack of transparency with the full council. Now, tonight's meeting also comes as Cary's mayor, Harold Weinbrecht, is defending his work as a consultant for a private company that does business with the town. Now, people who live here want transparency about all of these situations. It's also worth noting that the town says it's doing just that by announcing a new webpage providing information about the town manager's transition. Now, again, that meeting will be tonight at 6:30. We will continue to cover this story very closely. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Well, protests is expected to take place in Durham and Fayetteville and elsewhere today after an incident involving ICE agents shooting and killing a woman in Minneapolis yesterday. You can see the 4 different screens right here showing the demonstrations all across cities, including New York, Boston, New Orleans as well. This is video of a memorial last night for 37-year-old Renee Good. This vigil was held at the scene where the shooting happened. Homeland Security says Good was shot after a group of people blocked agents during an immigration operation. Secretary Kristi Noem is calling Good's actions, quote, domestic terrorism. Minneapolis' mayor says, though, the narrative is not true and is critical of ICE's presence in Minnesota.
What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people.
Because Governor Walz and Mayor Frey refuse to protect Minnesotans, and instead they protect these criminals, that's why we are here. And we didn't just show up yesterday, we've always been here.
Well, that chaos that the mayor mentioned erupted after that shooting. Some people were seen pelting agents and police officers with snowballs. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is encouraging peaceful protests, but says he is prepared to deploy the National Guard if need be.
Ken, I do want to get us a little bit more perspective on this from the viewpoint of President Donald Trump. He gave an interview to the New York Times that was posted this morning. And essentially, he said that Renee Good, the woman who was killed, she, quote, behaved horribly and, quote, ran over an ICE officer before she was shot. This is kind of a breakdown from NBC News, kind of talking about it a little bit. He also said essentially that, he says, quote, and then she ran him over. She didn't try to run him over, end quote. He also says, I want to see nobody get shot. I want to see nobody screaming and trying to run over policemen either. Now, it is quite clear that with this whole situation, there are conflicting perspectives in regard to this, what state officials and even local officials in Minneapolis are saying versus what Homeland Security is saying in response to this. And as we get more perspective for the story, we'll report it here on WRAL News.
All right, Chris, thanks. A man is in jail this morning who's accused of waving a machete and threatening people at the Moore Square bus station. WRAL's Allie Cadlabar is there this morning. Allie, we're learning that this man has had several run-ins with police in the past.
And Kelsey, he's been in jail 4 times over the past 6 months. His most recent run-in with police was here at the Go Raleigh station. Now, this man, Rafael Cisneros, is accused of swinging a rusty machete and making threats to people at the bus station on South Blunt Street Tuesday. This is his 4th arrest since July. He was out on bail at the time of the incident, and now he's being held on a $5,000 bond. We spoke with a woman who says Cisneros threatened another woman and then her boyfriend with the machete.
Telling the girl, he like, you ready to get your neck cut off? Like, he was finna start counting. And I was like, oh my God, do not do that. And he was like, shut up, B. I was like, oh. And then that's when my boyfriend, he got up.
Now, WRAL has covered several other violent incidents at the station, including in August 2024 when 2 people were stabbed 2 nights in a row. And the Raleigh City Council approved a contract back in April 2024 with Capitol Special Police for security at the Go Raleigh station. So this morning, we're asking these questions. Was there a security officer there during this incident. How many incidents have been reported to Raleigh police over the past 6 months? And also, is security being stepped up following this incident? Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Allie, thank you. WRAL's learned the mother of the suspect accused of killing a Raleigh teacher, Zoe Welsh, had a history of mental health issues. Ryan Camacho was charged in Welsh's death after police say he broke into her home and attacked her. Documents dating back to 2021 indicate concerns over his behavior and health. In 2021, Camacho's mother told a judge her son was, quote, delusional at times. Records also show she spent years seeking guardianship over him because of incompetency. Back in December, Judge Louis Mayer denied a request to send Camacho to a mental hospital after he was arrested in a breaking and entering case. We reached out to Mayer for comment, but we have not heard back.
Well, WRAL has been digging deeper into the history of Ryan Camacho and his many arrests all across the Triangle. He's been arrested more than 20 times over the last 20 years in Wake and Durham counties. We spoke with a Durham woman who tells us Camacho broke into her home twice in 3 years.
All of a sudden, Ryan Camacho comes walking in the back door. He takes one look at my brother and starts.
Camacho faced 4 more felonies for breaking and entering in 2 other properties in that neighborhood back in April of 2025. Now, those were consolidated, and he pleaded to 1 misdemeanor charge that kept him in jail for a matter of months. Well, WRAL has covered many different angles of this story since it broke, from Zoe Welch's impact on the community to Camacho's lengthy criminal history, as we just detailed. We're still asking questions. What more needs to be done? Find out our extensive reporting on WRAL.com.
Down, a top official with the UNC system is defending the efforts to cut diversity, equity, and inclusion. The swift actions he says state universities are taking.
Scorched yard. A woman in our area telling people to be careful after cigarette and dry conditions led to her front yard bursting into flames.
And our temperatures this afternoon won't be as warm as they were yesterday. Highs only in the low 60s. That's still above normal. Warmer air comes rushing right back for us tomorrow. And then we'll have a chance of some rain this weekend. We'll go over all of that coming up. 8:15 on the patio this morning. It looks gorgeous. We're waking up to lots of sunshine, but you'll notice the difference in temperature. Definitely happier in the full coat out here this morning. We're looking at nice, mild, breezy conditions for this afternoon with temperatures in the 60s. We start off with a look here at RDU. You can see a few high, thin clouds. That will thicken up as we get through the afternoon, so it becomes almost overcast mid to late day. It's chilly this morning. 30 in Roxborough, 39 in Durham, 44 Fayetteville, and 41 in Garner. And these temperatures are 10 to 15 degrees colder than this time yesterday. The afternoon temperature is about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday, with those highs in the low 60s. But, you know, a nice jacket walking the dog late this afternoon, this evening will look good. Still transitioning to warmer temperatures and then rain. I'll show you coming up.
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. This crash we've been monitoring on I-40 westbound near the Jones-Sausage Road exit is in the clearing phase. You can see most of the first responders are off to the shoulder of the road, the median of the road, I should say. Just one lane is blocked right now, so we're keeping an eye on that. You're looking at an 11-minute delay, just a 2-minute delay if you're coming in from Nightdale this morning. You're looking at a 7-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest. This situation on the southern loop of the Beltline around the Avon Ferry exit, Gorman Street exit. I'll keep an eye on that, let you know how much of a delay you're looking at coming up.
New this morning, longtime Democratic Congressman Steny Hoyer is expected to announce his retirement. Hoyer has represented Maryland in the U.S. House since 1981. That's more than 4 decades. Hoyer has spoken about his retirement plan, saying, "I did not want to be one of those members who clearly outstayed his or her ability to do the job." He plans to make the formal announcement when he speaks on the House floor at 10 this morning. A top UNC system official is defending efforts to crack down on diversity, equity, and inclusion on campuses at state universities. Bart Goodson says universities have cut funding to DEI efforts and staff and have elevated conservative voices on campus. Recent undercover videos filmed by conservative activists have focused on college DEI efforts. And yesterday, GOP leaders demanded answers. Goodson said universities are quickly moving to discipline or fire the employees in those videos.
If and when such incidents are discovered or brought to our attention, there will be an appropriate and swift response.
And it's not just universities under the microscope. Raleigh Mayor Janet Cowell was also summoned to testify about DEI concerns.
The arraignment for Nick Reiner has been delayed because his attorney withdrew from that case. Reiner is accused of murdering his parents. Film director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle in court yesterday. His attorney pulled out of the case and he was assigned a public defender. Reiner was, by the way. His new attorney asked the court to push back the arraignment to next month. Now, if convicted of first-degree murder, Nick Reiner could face life without parole. Prosecutors have not decided whether to seek the death penalty. Investigators are still trying to solve a case that has haunted our area for nearly 30 years. The Polk County Sheriff's Office renewing its push to find the person who killed 5-year-old Brittany Locklear. Brittany was abducted from the end of her driveway while waiting for the school bus back in January of 1998. I remember this case well. Brittany's body was found the next day. She had been raped and drowned and left in a ditch about 3 miles from her home. Now, we don't know much about a potential suspect, only that they drove off in a pickup truck. If you know anything about this crime, you're encouraged to call the Polk County Sheriff's Office.
And more charges have been filed against a former Rollsville Charter Academy teacher charged with sex crimes. Armani Fields is accused of contacting the alleged victim 6 times earlier this month after a judge ordered him not to. Fields is charged with multiple felony sex crimes involving minors. A November incident reportedly happened at the school. Fields was fired from the school in November. A close call is leading a Johnston County woman to encourage people to be more careful. She says her lawn caught fire after a passing driver threw a cigarette butt out their window. Now, images shared with WRAL show the scorched glass after it caught fire. Sharon Farrell says the fire started around Tuesday. The flames came close to claiming multiple houses, and 2 fire departments had to step in to help. Even without recent dry conditions across the state, discarded cigarette butts can be a major hazard.
Me and my granddaughter and my daughter's mother-in-law could have been out of a home that fast just because of somebody being careless.
Wow, just a scary situation there. And it really just brings home the fact that you've got to be careful, especially in these dry conditions. Elizabeth, we know that you have been staying on top of the drought that we're seeing right now in the area.
And we've been talking about this drought really since September. Ironically, we had a very wet July and August, which is usually the opposite. And then we start to, sometimes get a little bit wetter in the fall, but especially this time of year. This tends to be where we see a lot of rain, January, February, March, April, and that tends to refill the reservoirs. But so far, we haven't seen much rain in January, and we don't have much in the forecast. So our drought monitor, which comes out once a week on Thursday mornings, it should be out really soon. Grant Skinner coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. It may be out by then. So we'll see if there's any change. But that brown shaded area is where we have moderate drought, and then the yellow is where we're looking at abnormally dry conditions. So much of the state is seeing that moderate drought, and that orange section there, just in the very tip of North Carolina, is severe drought. So we're not in severe drought yet, but boy, it may not be long until we get there. The percentage of normal rainfall that we've seen over the last month is only 20 to 50%. And of course, we've seen that month after month through the fall and into the winter. So we would need 4 to 6 inches of rain in 1 month to bring us back to normal. And Saturday's totals only about 1/4 of an inch. Now, this is going to be an interesting system. We're going to see very warm temperatures ahead of it, feeling like spring for both Friday and Saturday. We're going to see our cold front swinging through. Ahead of that front in the southern part of the country, we're going to end up with some strong thunderstorms. And we may see a few of those in our area too Saturday night. The severe threat is a level 2 for parts of the deep south, lower Mississippi Valley. For us, it's a level 1 risk Saturday night from the Triangle area westward. We would have a small chance of damaging winds. It's been a while since we've had any thunderstorms. Taking a look at Futurecast starting on Friday, you can see the cloud cover and a very small chance of a shower. We'll move it ahead to Saturday. This is 5 a.m. Most of Saturday stays dry, but late in the afternoon and evening, we start to see a line of showers. But notice how quickly those really fall apart. So again, I think if we're going to end up with any severe storms, it's probably going to end up being over there closer to the western part of our viewing area. Really warm Friday and Saturday, and then we start the cool down on Sunday.
Happening now in the WRAL traffic center, Elizabeth, we got a real trouble spot on that southern loop of the Beltline. We're talking about close to the West Raleigh. You've got Lake Wheeler and all the way over to past Gorman Street. This is what we're looking at. Apparently, the first responders are working a crash involving an overturned vehicle. You can see at least 2 lanes are blocked in those eastbound lanes coming in that particular area of I-40 westbound, I should say, forgive me. I-40 westbound, you can see what we're talking about here. So huge delays in that particular area. So you might want to take the northern loop of the Beltline as an alternate route. The other troubled spot we're seeing this morning, I-40 and Jones Sausage Road. This crash is really in the clearing phase, but we're still seeing some lingering delays. I'll have another update coming up in less than 10 minutes.
Buying a car. We all know about this one. Finding one you want at the right price is a big deal. 5 on Your Side has ways to protect your budget as prices skyrocket.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Hey there, your time now is 8:26. I'm Kelsey Coffey. Here's meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner.
Out here on the patio, lots of sunshine this morning. Really looks pretty, but it's colder than yesterday. Temperatures upper 30s to low and mid 40s. Right now it's 39 in Durham, 39 in Raleigh. And what you're seeing right there, you may wonder, what are we looking at? That's actually a look at our fountain right here from above. It's 44 in Fayetteville right now. Today at a glance, we'll see increasing clouds this afternoon. It's cooler than yesterday at 63 degrees. And then we get back to the 70s starting again tomorrow.
And happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, I-40 westbound near Avon Ferry Road. This is the live camera look at it. You can see first responders working a crash. We're told it involves an overturned vehicle, and you can see the huge delays it's causing there on I-40 westbound. So listen, depending on where you are, where you're coming from this morning, you might want to take the northern loop of the Beltline to avoid that southern loop of the Beltline. You can see the huge delays it's causing right now in that particular area. The other troubled spot, Jones Sausage Road and I-40 westbound, crashes in the clearing phase, but you're still looking at an 8-minute delay at this hour.
Today, Newton Grove Police Chief Greg Warren will be in court on charges including indecent liberties with a minor and secret peeping. Court documents show the incident happened back in 2023. Warren has been the Newton Grove Police Chief since 2019. And tonight, we will get an update on how the town is moving forward after the resignation of Cary Town Manager Sean Stiegel. He was accused of over-the-top spending and inadequate financial reporting. Some in the town are calling for more transparency from the council. That meeting is tonight at 6:30. Next on Fox 50, new information about the man accused of killing a Raleigh teacher. And up next on Today, a one-on-one with Keaton Thompson on his new children's book, Unfunny Bunny.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Heading out the door to run your errands this morning. Just note it's a lot colder than it was this time yesterday. I'll show you how warm it will be as we head into the afternoon.
And demands to remove ICE. People fill streets nationwide after a woman is shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. The protests that are planned in our area today.
Also, downtown safety concerns. A man accused of threatening people with a machete at a Raleigh bus station. The questions we have for police this morning.
Plus, leadership changes in Cary. Tonight, the town council meets for the first time since the town manager stepped down. What we're expecting to hear. We know a lot of folks there in Cary are just searching for answers there as they're trying to figure out what's going on with the town council. I'm Kelsey Coffey in for Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. We want to go ahead and get right back outside. And meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner on the WRAL weather patio tracking our forecast.
It's lovely out here. You know, I needed to add an extra layer compared to yesterday. Yesterday, we were closer to 50. This morning, we're closer to 40, and you can tell the difference. Pretty in the patio, though, just lots of sunshine. It is 39 degrees right now. We have light winds. All across the viewing area, we're seeing sunshine right now, but cooler temperatures. It's 32 in Roxborough, where you could run into some patchy frost on your windshield. Upper 30s in the Triangle, and then mid 40s in some of our southern counties. Running anywhere from right around 10 to almost 15 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. And we'll see the same thing during the afternoon, about 10 degrees cooler than our high yesterday as we only climb into the low 60s. We have an active pattern coming up. We warm right back up for Friday and Saturday. And late Saturday, we have a small chance of some severe storms. I'll show you when coming up. Ken?
All right, that's been happening now. The WRAL Traffic Center want to get right to I-40 westbound there in West Raleigh. This is a live look at I-40 and Avon Ferry Road. You can see first responders working this crash, and we're told it involves an overturned vehicle. You can see at least 2 lanes are blocked in that particular area. So depending on where you're coming from this morning, you might want to use the northern loop of the Beltline or even I-540, because right now you're looking at a half-hour delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out this morning, and that might be part of your morning commute. Even Highway 70 if you want to get to Durham this morning. The other routes coming into the Raleigh-Wake County area, you're looking at a delay on I-40 eastbound. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown between Harrison Avenue and Airport Boulevard, just a 7-minute delay. Nothing that's going to really make you late. A 4-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest this morning. So the crash earlier on I-40 westbound near the Jones Sausage Road exit, that's in the clearing phase, but we're still seeing a little bit of lingering delays. You're looking at a 6-minute delay at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Today, a town police chief in Sampson County will be in court on charges including indecent liberties with a minor. The charges against Newton Grove Police Chief Greg Warren also include secret peeping. Court documents show the incident happened back in 2023. Warren was sworn in as Newton Grove Police Chief back in 2019. A man is in jail this morning after police say he was swinging a machete and making threats to people in downtown Raleigh. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar is at the bus station where everything happened. Ali, we're working to find out if Raleigh will be ramping up security.
And Kelsey, we've seen Go Raleigh buses come and go out of this Go Raleigh station for the past few hours now. According to a city contract approved, a 3-year city contract approved back in 2024, we should be seeing the security officers at multiple platforms around this station. And so today we're asking questions about security after this man, Rafael Cisneros, is accused of swinging a rusty machete and making threats to people at the Go Raleigh station on Tuesday. This is his 4th arrest since July, and he was out on bail at the time of the incident. Now he's being held on a $5,000 bond. We spoke with a woman who says Cisneros threatened her boyfriend with the machete.
The man, he was slinging a knife in his face. He slung it at him. He was probably like an inch away from his face for it when he slung the knife.
Very scary moments there. Now, WRAL has covered several other violent incidents at the station, including in August 2024 when 2 people were stabbed 2 nights in a row. And this morning, we're working to find out the answers to these questions. Was there a security officer present when this incident happened? How many incidents have been reported to Raleigh Police Department over the past 6 months? And also, is security being stepped up after this incident? Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
That's some breaking news that we're following here in the WRAL Live Center. We have learned within the past 10 minutes that Durham Police Chief Patrice Andrews will retire May 1st. Now, this is something we got into our email a little bit ago. Essentially, the press release says that after a combined 25 years of service with the City of Durham Police Department, Chief Patrice Andrews will retire on May 1st, 2026. She began her career with Durham Police back in '97. She served in various roles there. You may recall that she also served as Chief of Police in Morrisville. And then in November 2021, she returned to Durham after being selected by then City Manager Wanda Page to lead that department. So what we're doing right now is trying to get more specifics on the circumstances surrounding why she decided to retire in that regard. But WRAL News will stay with this story and bring you updates on air and online on WRAL.com.
Family members are out of their home after a fire in Cumberland County. Crews say the fire was shooting out through the roof of the home on Broughton Road in Eastover when they arrived around 9 last night. Firefighters rescued a dog from the home. Another dog got out but is missing. The cause of that fire is under investigation. We're getting new insights into the history of a man accused of killing a Raleigh teacher, Zoe Welch. Ryan Camacho's mother says he's had a years-long history of mental health issues. Camacho's charged with murder after police say he broke into Welch's home and attacked her. Documents dating back to 2021 show there were concerns with his behavior and health. In 2021, Camacho's mother told the judge her son was, quote, delusional at times. Records also show she had spent years seeking a guardianship over her son because of incompetency. Back in December, Judge Louis Meyer denied a request to send Camacho to a mental health hospital after breaking and entering arrest. We reached out to Judge Meyer for comment but have not heard back as yet.
State leaders met yesterday to discuss efforts to help convicted criminals re-enter society after prison. Governor Josh Stein struck a balance between re-entry and repeat offenders.
The courts, of course, need to do their job to get as much justice as possible for Ms. Welch, her family, as is possible. But what's clear is that we as a state need to invest more in our mental and behavioral health systems.
And Stein pointed to these statistics here showing that 90% of incarcerated people will eventually get out. The council tries to provide tools to give them a second chance through job opportunities and access to mental health care. Now, Welch's family released a new statement yesterday. They said this in part, while words cannot capture our heartbreak, we take comfort in knowing how many lives she touched and appreciate the support that has been extended to our family during this difficult time.
Well, Kelsey, WRAL has covered many different angles of this story since it broke, from Welch's effect on the community to Camacho's lengthy criminal history. And we are still asking questions. What more needs to be done? You can find our extensive coverage on WRAL.com. Happening today, the Cary Town Council meeting for the first time since its town manager resigned over spending concerns. Heidi Kirk is live in Cary this morning. And Heidi, the mayor is now expected to request questions about his own business dealings.
Ken, that's absolutely right. And we've been covering every single aspect of this ongoing story for more than a month now. I've got today's agenda right here, and we're expecting an update from the interim town manager. His name is Russ Overton. That's all going to happen right here behind me tonight at 6:30 at Cary's Town Hall. Now, of course, we've been covering this for a while. I want to break down kind of the root of what's been going on here. Now, Overton, the interim town manager, took over for the former town manager, Sean Stiegel, on December 15th. That comes after he was placed on paid administrative leave by council as a result of over-the-top spending, inadequate financial reporting, and as they call it, a lack of transparency. Now, tonight's meeting also comes, as you mentioned, as Cary Mayor Harold Weinbrecht is defending his work as a consultant for a private company that does business with the town. Now, the people who live here, they're asking for transparency regarding all of these situations. Now, the town says it's doing just that. It's created a page on its website to really break down the town manager's transition here. They've got a lot of documents, helpful information on there. Now, of course, we're going to continue covering this very closely. We'll have updates from tonight's meeting again at 6:30 here at Town Hall. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Heidi, thank you. At least 2 people were killed and several others were hurt in a shooting at a Utah church. It happened in the parking lot of a Salt Lake City Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. A funeral was reportedly taking place at that time. Police say there was a fight before shots rang out. When police and fire arrived on scene, the suspects ran away. Video captured near the scene shows a potential getaway car. Police say the shooting was likely not a random religious attack.
Well, today we're expecting protests in the area and all across the country after ICE agents shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. Many of the country across the country are holding vigils last night to honor Renee Good's life. Homeland Security says Good tried to ram her car into agents, forcing one of them to fire. This morning, we're learning Minneapolis' police chief expressed concern about someone being killed while ICE agents were in the area just yesterday. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, the woman's access actions before the shooting was an act of domestic terrorism. City officials and the mayor say that narrative is false.
And Ken, I do want to take our viewers out to this live look right now at this memorial for Renee Good, the woman who was killed by that ICE agent. And just to show you the amount of flowers, the amount of candles that have been brought out to this area, the cross that you see right there, you can see a sign that just says remember, and maybe a little difficult by that blinking candle as well. And this is just one particular moment that's live right now. If I can, I'm going to see if I can scroll back, because you did see people that were coming up to it there, and it doesn't. There you go. This is kind of going back, buffering to what you saw before, but people outside there sort of observing that memorial. I'll take it back to live here right now. We'll, of course, be watching to see how the leadership there in Minnesota continues to respond to this today. We already brought you what President Donald Trump told the New York Times this morning, saying that Renee Good, that she, quote, behaved badly in his particular opinion. But stay with WRAL News as we dig deeper into this story here.
We know that Chris will be staying on top of that in the Live Center. Today, lawmakers are expected to vote on Affordable Care Act health subsidies. This is a live look now at the U.S. Capitol, where the House will likely pass a 3-year extension. The ACA subsidies expired at the end of last year. That extension may not go far in the Senate, where a similar measure failed in December. More than 24 million people signed up for ACA policies in 2025. Today's vote is part of the lawmakers' to-do list ahead of another deadline at the end of this month to fund the government or risk a shutdown.
Time now 8:42. Home affordability. President Trump tackling housing issues, his plans to improve costs, and how lawmakers are reacting.
Plus, protecting your budget. You may have noticed car prices are skyrocketing. 5 on Your Side shares the ways to avoid overspending when buying or leasing a car.
Heading to break, we want to head outside, give you a live look at Southern Pines this morning. A little bit of a mix of sun and clouds. Ahead, we've been warming up lately. We'll tell you all about that coming up with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner.
.46. It's pretty chilly out here on the patio right now, standing in the shade. We're going to be cooler for today. We had a front come through last night that's dropping our temperatures just a little bit. So it's 42 in Wilson, 39 in Durham, and 44 in Fayetteville right now. But you can see sunny skies everywhere. Exercise outlook. If you were out for a run yesterday or a walk and you're about to head out the door, notice that temperatures are about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. But, you know, if you're hoping for it to warm up a little bit, 11 o'clock, 55, it'll be 62 at 1 o'clock. And then your commute forecast around 5 o'clock, our temperature will be at 60, and then we drop back into the 50s again. Our temperatures do warm up nicely back into the 70s for tomorrow and Saturday. We'll also talk about our chance for rain Saturday.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the W Traffic Center. Some good news to report. That crash on I-40 westbound near the Avon Ferry Road exit completely cleared. You can see these westbound lanes flowing nicely at a nice steady clip. We're still seeing a little bit of a lingering delay in that particular area. Right now, you're looking at a 30-minute delay, but really and truly, that's going to improve rather drastically now that that crash has cleared. I'll have another update in less than 10 minutes.
Now, we first told you about this in the Live Center earlier this morning. NASA is considering a rare early return of its crew from the International Space Station. NASA said one of the astronauts is experiencing an unspecified medical issue. A spacewalk that was planned for today has been postponed. The astronauts have been on the space station since August, and right now they're scheduled to return around May. OpenAI has announced that ChatGPT will now include a health portal. The new feature allows users to connect medical records and wellness apps to ChatGPT. That way, the AI can give more tailored responses to health and wellness questions. The company says there will be extra privacy and safety measures in place, but this new feature here is not qualified to give medical advice. It's still in the testing stage.
The Trump administration says it's looking at ways to tackle housing costs. President Trump posting to Truth Social yesterday saying, in part, I'm immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes, and I will be calling on Congress to codify it. People live in homes, not corporations. Lawmakers who support the president's comments say big investors can cause rising prices, while some say the White House needs to take greater action.
In the time that Donald Trump has been president, foreclosures have spiked by 21%.
It's about having too much pressure on this market. These institutional investors can find other places that can get good ROI without having to compete with ordinary average Americans trying to maybe buy that first home for their families.
President Trump says he will dive deeper into his affordability plans later this month.
Now, if you're shopping for a new car, you've probably seen that prices are still high and interest rates haven't really eased up. 5 on Your Side's Ashley Rowe shows you how to protect your budget when buying or leasing a car.
New car prices are averaging around $50,000 and interest rates are near 7%. That's why Consumer Reports says it's especially important for shoppers to know what to expect when buying a new vehicle. Consumer Reports closely monitors the auto market, buying 40 to 50 new cars every year for testing.
You want to watch out for things like add-ons and extras and fees that can push up a price by hundreds or thousands of dollars.
To compare prices and see what's actually available near you, check the manufacturer's site, plus places like TrueCar, Cars.com, or CR's Build and Buy service. It's also worth looking into financing through your bank or credit union.
Sometimes dealerships offer promotional financing, which can save you a lot of money. But at the very least, talking to the bank gives you a baseline that you can compare against what the dealer offers.
Consumer Reports cautions against those really long 84 or 96-month loans. The monthly payment may seem manageable, but interest can drive the overall cost much higher. And for buyers thinking about leasing, there are trade-offs to consider.
Make sure you know what the mileage limits are, the fees that you could face at the end of that lease, and any sort of maintenance or repairs that you have to pay when you turn in the car at the end of the lease.
And whether you'll be leasing or buying, don't feel rushed to sign a contract. Give yourself time to understand what you're agreeing to. It can save you a lot of stress down the road. And something else to consider, extended warranties can add thousands to the price tag. Consumer Reports recommends choosing a reliable car and setting aside an emergency fund instead. Ashley Rowe, 5 on Your Side.
Well, we want to turn our attention now to the forecast as we look live at Durham this morning. A mix of sun and clouds. You see the sun getting ready to peak out there. And a little chillier this morning than yesterday morning. Let's bring in meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner outside on the WRAL weather patio. And Elizabeth, I got to admit, I picked out a short sleeve shirt for Frankie this morning.
Oh, no.
I know.
Ken, you of all people, you have to listen to my forecast over and over and over all morning. So shorts and T-shirts tomorrow, but definitely not today. So what happened is we had a cold front come through. It was a weak front. It was really just a temperature change, a wind shift. We didn't have a lot of cloud cover and no rain with that, of course, but it definitely feels cooler today. This morning, it's about 10 to 15 degrees cooler, about 10 degrees cooler this afternoon, which means highs in the low 60s. Warmer again for both Saturday and Sunday, and rain this weekend. It looks like it's going to be mainly a Saturday night event, but we do have a level 1 risk for part of the viewing area from, say, Raleigh westward. Here's a look at the gardens behind me, and we're looking beautiful right now. Beautiful sunshine, a few high thin clouds. It's 39 degrees officially in the triangle. So again, cooler this morning. Definitely feels good in a coat. Not cold enough for hats and gloves, but the sunglasses would be nice to have this morning. This afternoon, we'll start to see skies clouding up again. It's 34 in Roxborough, 40 in Southern Pines, 42 in Rocky Mount. Some colder temperatures as we zoom in around the triangle. 35 in Chapel Hill, 37 in Durham. It's 46 in Knightdale, 50 in Clayton. So that is a wide range in temperatures. Most of us are seeing temperatures 5 to 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. So that's definitely impactful as you're headed out the door. The high pressure system that you see moving just north of Raleigh will help to switch our winds to southerly. That's going to bring in some warmth for us for tomorrow. But today, highs will be in the low 60s in the triangle and 67 degrees in Fayetteville. Look at this warm air mass sitting just to our west. It rolls right back in. It's with us on Friday and Saturday, with our temperatures up near records. Our normal high is 52, so we're way above normal for 73 Friday and 75 on Saturday, and those days should tie a record. It is likely to be cloudy on Friday and Saturday, but still, comfortable for getting outside. And the timeline on rain for us on Saturday should be around or after sunset through around midnight.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you. Before we go to break, here are the winning lottery numbers, and we'll get another check on weather and traffic next.